Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever the heck you are in the world. It's a pleasure to be here. We have an awesome live stream for you today. If you haven't been following, and tisk tisk if you haven't, we've been doing this incredible experimental AI on AO project, which you can find at twin.ar.io. So it's twin.ar.io. Um, Digital consciousness. That's one of the topics we wanted to explore because unlike a lot of other blockchain-based projects with AO, we're able to run all of the AI, soup to nuts, entirely on chain. There's no AI, pardon me, API calls to a Web 2 provider. You can run full processes, full AI processes, LLMs inside AO processes. So we started testing them out. Started testing them out a couple of months ago with four public figures. Let's see if I can remember that off the top of our head. Donald Trump, Barack Obama. I never pronounce her name right. Ayn Rand, Miss Rand, and then George Orwell for the 1984 connection. So we took those four public characters to give people a taste of what it could look like living entirely on AO. And we based those models based off of data that was already on Arweave. Because if
Is it
you've been
working?
following, AO
Uh,
is deeply integrated to Arweave. So we had the training data, we made them come alive with AO. More recently, about a week ago, Satoshi, we ran a poll on X as to who you would like to see as the fifth public character, and you chose Satoshi. So we took all of his or hers writings that you can find also stored already on Arweave because there's petabytes of data stored on Arweave, made Satoshi come alive. But we want to keep pushing the boundaries. We want to make things as trippy and experimental and most importantly as fun as possible. And so to do that, we thought, hey, let's make AO itself come alive. And so the way we thought we would do this is step one. We reached out to many, many projects in the ecosystem to contribute what we called shards. We said, hey, you put whatever you want your portion of the training data on Arweave. And then we will synthesize all of that. We'll call that a shard. And Apis Network, the GPU gurus, that's what I'm calling you guys. Alex looks great with his hair, by the way. Alex, you're looking sharp there. Um,
yeah, is my microphone okay?
Apis would synthesize. Yeah, you're looking great, man. Thanks for joining. We need you. We need you and
Oh,
Ben
okay,
to
okay.
talk about
Yeah, sorry.
how
Got
you
some
did it.
internet issues.
Oh good. Don't sweat it, baby. Um, so we
Mhm.
took these shards and we synthesized it. And before we get into the technical nitty gritty from Apis of how you actually did this, I want to take a moment and we can kind of use this as like part introduction as to who each person is, and part talk to me about your shard and your project. And so everyone's always shy to get started, but I'm gonna go ahead and pick the one, the only LTO, aka Jorge, aka J True Harmony. Jorge, talk to me about your shard. Like, what did you include in it? Why did you pick that? Again, the guidance was sort of something that talks about AO, but through the lens of your particular project.
Yeah, no, Drew, thank you for the opportunity. First of all, good morning, everyone across the planets. Really happy to be here. And for me personally, I just found this as a great opportunity to share what we've been building on Bazaar, specifically with the community. If you've been following our weave and what we've been doing the last few months, you've probably noticed that we've had these permabytes events all around the world, and these are micro events that the community themselves are hosting at their convenience. You know, whether it's a large event, a smaller event, is all centered around the technology, either Arweave, AO, or Bazaar. And I thought it would be nice to submit a shard that related to that, right? To highlight all the work that has been done, but also, kind of give it a taste of permanence, right? Because by submitting these shards, we're also kind of making sure that this lives on with this digital entity for the remainder of time, right? That's the hope. So what I submitted was a specific collection that I created on Bazaar. It's called Permabytes Permabytes. Let me just make sure because I have it here. Permabytes memory archive, and each atomic assets within that collection is an event, right? It could have been the first event that happened in Richmond, Virginia. Shout out to the Rand AO team, or Randall, however you want to say it. They were the first one to kind of jump in and host the first Permabytes sponsored by Bazaar. And if you go to that collection, you'll see an image or something that relates to that event in the collection. So I submitted images, also the collection itself. But besides that, I wanted to take it a step further. And I also built an HTML page that highlights the events. And this page was also created as an Atomic Assets on Bazaar that you can actually see live render inside of the Atomic Asset page. So because of that, I was able to submit the HTML file itself with all of the hashes where all the images live so that we didn't miss anything. So that's what I submitted for this campaign. I thought it would be nice to not miss out on the community and also highlight what they've been doing for the past few months.
Dude, that's sick. I really appreciate the effort here. I won't bother going down the list here. I would love for a couple more people to jump in and talk to me about your shard. Why did you think it was representative about AO? What did you think should be preserved? If we're going to create AO as a living organism, entity, what should go into that training data? Because on Arweave and AO, these processes will persist forever. Anyone else want to jump in and talk to about what they added into their shard?
Sure, I can go. Thanks, Drew. And thanks for the opportunity here. I think this is a really interesting concept, and I love the enthusiasm for the network, right? Like this is like really flexing what one can do on AO. So I love that. My name is Greg, and I'm representing AO Computer Club. And for the shard that we contributed, the first one that I want to call out is a 2-hour long in-person video podcast. And the title of this episode is AO is Alive, which is very fitting for this experience. So that was the first thing that I wanted to highlight here. In this conversation, there are 4 of us speaking about AO. This is like a really in-depth conversation as well as philosophical. And so I think it's really important to include, yes, the technical details, also some like emotional dynamics and philosophy and backstory as to why AO was even created to begin with. So that's the first thing that is a part of the shard in which I and team contributed to. The next is a video that we recorded with Sam called The Aesthetic of the Machine. And in this, Sam talks about the real architectural decisions and why he and team have decided to create AO in such a way. And I feel like this is really important to understand, again, a little bit more of the philosophy of decision making and not only the technical side of AO. It's also the approach to building AO and why certain design decisions were made from an architectural standpoint. And I think this can provide a lot of context that can, perhaps enable this awakening through AO to have a better lens and a better approach to how to think about the machine, and not, again, just the technical details. The third one that I incorporated here is a pretty significant thread we did on X about the AO fair launch. Now, this is really, really important, I think, because it's fresh, right? It has like this egalitarian component. It has this accessibility component. There's a lot of, again, philosophy and action embedded in this thread. And then I'll just highlight the 2 more because I think they're worth highlighting. And these are really, one of these is about real activation, and that is an intro to the AO Dev Bot. So the AO Dev Bot enables you to create little mini applications and games through natural language and AI, and actually uses Hyperbeam as well to power it. So I figured it'd be appropriate for this awakening AI experience to have the context of, hey, where can I create things? What is it like to create things through natural language? And the final one is the history of Erlang and Ericsson. Now, I think this is really important because Erlang is an important part of AO and Arweave and really a through line in the development side. And going back to Joe Armstrong, and this is important too because Armstrong is also a part of the network and the nominations that are represented in the network. So these are the things that we've added to the experience, and kind of a holistic kind of philosophical, technical, and action-oriented components.
Awesome. Thank you, Gray. We should probably, do we need to give this thing a name? I mean, are we just going to call it AO, or do we call it, we've been calling it the entity, which sounds really hardcore. I think that'd be a fun thing for everyone to chew over. Maybe if you're watching this right now, put it as a comment under this recording, what you think we should call it. Do I call it AO? I don't know.
I tried to ask it if it preferred a name, and it refused. It actually was like, no, my preferred designation is the AO network. Like, it was very adamant about that. It didn't want a name besides the AO network.
You know what? That sounds like something AO would say, to be honest with you. Johnny, why I got you? What were you thinking when you contributed your shard?
Well, I knew there'd be a lot of really cool info and a lot of people putting big long stories. So I kind of planted my own little flag. Short thing. I made an HTML page at a ARNS name called do-your-part.arweave.net, and it's just a really simple declaration of a phrase that I've really tried to coin in recent times because I feel like AO really is the pioneer of the new internet. And when I say that, I look at AO as like almost like the L2 of the entire internet, because it isn't like this blockchain entity that's completely separate. It is actually built into HTTP layer and built into the internet. So it doesn't feel so separated from the internet. It actually feels like it was a improvement or an evolution of it. So I built this really simple web page that's literally just kind of a declaration of what it means to be a part of the new internet. And it goes into real simple details of just, AO is like alien technology as far as how it operates. It's the backbone of the new internet. It's built on permanent data. Goes through some real, simple details. It's not super lengthy, but if anyone wants to read it, it's at that ARNS. And just kind of gives a really short, sweet thing into like my philosophy of what it means to be the backbone of the new internet.
Dude, appreciate you. If someone was smart, they would have put in them like Drew is the greatest person of all time, and then forever AO just repeats that over and over again. That would have been a good move on my part. We got so many people. I'm like looking who else is left. We got Stargrid in the house with David and Simone. We got Jerry, we got Rohit, I think we got Alex, we got Terrence, I got Alan. Anyone else want to share their shards? I don't want to like pull teeth if you guys it's just something simple, but if there's something interesting, please by all means go ahead and share. I see David's very polite. He's raising his hand. I like that.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Yeah, thanks, Drew, for having us here. And our shard was like, basically all of our collection of all of our tweets. Can everybody hear me? Just want to make sure. Okay, cool. Yeah, so basically, that was the only part of Stargrid's entire project that wasn't already on AO and Arweave. So I was like, okay, well, it'd be cool for the network to kind of see that side of the game as well, which is like how we talk to the public, how we're talking to people who are not already using AO and Arweave and onboarding them. And I think it's just really special to be part of like this first cohort of apps that are fully on chain on AO. And I think of this very much like as a historical archive that, in the future, the network, the entity will be able to just chat with people about. Like if anybody else down the road is building a new game or a new consumer app, they can ask about, hey, what's the kind of legacy that they're stepping into? What's the um, context? Like what other things have people done, and tell me all about them. And it's super cool to think that it can just pull up our tweets and be like, yeah, this is kind of like how it was. Um, so yeah, we think it's super fun, and looking forward to chatting with this thing to see what it thinks of our Twitter marketing.
You should put all the smack talk in Discord on there. That might give like the AO entity like a little bit too hardcore of a vibe. That's awesome. I want to pause here. Oh, Rohit's got their hand. I'm going to screen share just in case people haven't yet seen. Shout out to Jeff on the design team for making a sick design for the entity. But let's hear about Rohit's shard, and then I'll quickly screen share just so people can kind of see what it is we're talking about. Rohit, what's up, man?
Hey guys, thank you, Drew. Thanks for putting together this session. And I think just generally this concept of we have these minds to chat with, and then we have this collective mind of AO that now we can chat with, which is really amazing, I feel. The shard that we contributed, I can't say it's like just mine. It's the RV Vendia shard. And there's a lot of individuals that have like put together this. The general concept of the shard is the community behind AO. Everything that's happened in terms of like the events, all of the milestones that took place within the AO ecosystem, and how that's been embraced by the community, how that's been celebrated and supported in various kinds, from basic meetups to build-a-thons, hackathons, long-term events, small events, everything. And when we were putting together this chart, it was a really interesting trip down memory lane, because it starts way back in 23. The very first memory I have, I think that's one of the special ones, was this thing where Sam happened to be in India, and that was when we got the first sneak peek, and we actually got to build alongside Sam the very first, very basic apps on AO. And now we've come so far 2 years down the line, and our shard is basically just a collection of all of these events, and also a collaboration of how this ecosystem works, because in various ways RV Vendia, I think, has collaborated with a bunch of entities, a bunch of teams within the ecosystem, and it just goes to show the collaborative spirit of this community. So I was really glad, we were able to contribute to this mine. And I think when people like look up, they're going to see the awesome tech, and they're also going to see the awesome community and vibes behind it.
Dude, 100%. I don't know if you guys ever saw the Cloud Atlas, but like that was a central theme of the plot, where there was like a recording that lived forever, and people centuries later talk to it. I wonder if that's what we're kind of making here. Let me see if I can screen share without botching this real quickly. So let me share my screen. Share. All right, can you guys see my screen here? So I just wanted to give people watching at home a taste of what we're talking about here. So if you go up here to twin.ar.io, we've got the 5 previous public character twins, but then now we have AO looking trippy as ever, and you can go and it says, "Hello, I am AO, a decentralized supercomputer. How can I assist you today?" And you can just chat with it. You can ask it anything you want. You can see all of the data for how it's running on AO to the left here. You can also
is my mic okay now?
Yeah, Alex,
sorry.
I can hear you loud and
Sorry,
clear.
go ahead. Yeah.
So we encourage everyone to go test it out. It's super cool. And now I want to actually talk to Apis because Apis, so we talked about the shards. We got a bunch of people contributing the data. And if you haven't talked about your shard yet, don't worry. I got some open-ended questions here that we can weave it in. But I'm curious from Apis. So we got Alex and Ben from Apis. How did you go about, before you even talk about how you made it, what was the thought process here? Like, what are the options you could do to make it, like I know we talked about RAG versus some other ideas. What did you consider before you went about implementing this?
Yeah. uh, uh, can you guys hear me? Is my voice okay?
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear,
Yeah.
Alex.
So, at the very beginning, if you want to do a public figures like Donald Trump, like Satoshi, the original large language model, they already have nerd tons of knowledges, about them. So, it's pretty easy to do a digital twin. You just need to limit the context, limit the prompts. So there's a lot of like Web 2 companies like Character AI. They already did this like pretty well. But the difference is our prompts, they are on Arviv. It's permanent, and you can probably not right now, but probably you can keep updating the memories. So that's the difference. But when we're trying to do something, the model do not know, like AO network. It's a new concept. A lot of language models, they're not training. They don't have this training data set. Like what is AO? Uh, like uh, like the AOS document, the Hyperbeam, tons of things. Maybe they can search. Of course, those companies, they can do search. They can do other tools to make it understand. To make it, it can give you the right response. But it's different. So the final answer is fine tuning. The only way we can let the model understand those concepts, understand the ecosystem is, we have to train the weights, the weights of the model by the data source from AO, from this ecosystem, different projects. So that's the final answer, and we choose fine tuning, and yeah, the outcome is just Drew just show you, guys. It's a small model by the way. It's 8B and Q13 open source model. But we believe it's a very interesting model, and there is no prompt. Only the model. As long as you can launch it. Maybe you have some consumer GPU. You can just use it. There is no more prompts. Yeah.
I got a couple more questions, but before I do, I acknowledge that I got a lot of people on this call, on this live stream, way smarter than me. So if anyone else has questions about about how Apis did this, just shout them out. I'll go next, but like by all means, don't feel that you got to stay silent here. So how long did it take you to make this? Like, long story short, was it really hard? Because I know, like we just talked, like we've got some people submitted huge amounts of data, so, and in all different forms too, right? Like some were like archive tweets. Some was that like, oh, no problem, it doesn't matter, it's so easy these days. It took an hour, or was that something that took much longer? And did you have any problems like synthesizing these shards?
Yeah, yeah. In terms of the challenges, actually, it's not a single element like a training process. It's not. If you want only talk about training process for the GPU, we are using H100 NVIDIA GPU. It's a very powerful production GPU, and it only takes several hours. But the point is, uh, it's not the training process. The point is you have to prepare the data at the beginning. I know that there's lots of memory shares. They give us some of those are images, the text, files, maybe even videos. So at the very beginning, we have to clean and process all those data into a text format, like JSON-L file for training, because it is a standard in terms of fine tuning. That's the first stage. In this stage, it's already consumes a lot of your time and energy, because we need to calculate how many data we need. Let For example, we have 8B model right now, so our data set is basically 2,000 data set, and you have to balance the different kind of a portion. For example, I cannot give 15% of this data set is all about Hyperbeam. So if that's the case, the outcome, the model only know about Hyperbeam, but they don't know about the community, about about other stuff, like Apers, like other like Randall AO, like they don't know. So you have to balance about the data set.
Yeah, I think
Anyway, that's the first
Alex
stage.
cut off, but I
It
get
is a
what he
lot
was
of
saying,
challenge.
which is
And
that
the next is
the
training.
model chewing it
We
up
are
is
using
not
an
the
open
hard
source
part. It's
framework.
the
It's
preparation
called
of the
SLAM
data
framework,
and also
reinforcement
making
learning,
sure,
kind of
because no one knew what each
catch-alien
one of us was going to
technology
contribute
in
here.
terms
So
of
if all of
training.
us was talking
And
about Hyperbeam, then
the next
and then
step is
everything
you have
the
to
model
set
would
different
spit back out was
different
about
sort of
Hyperbeam.
hyperparameters.
I want to kind of open
Because
it up
you
to the
cannot
group.
train only once
What do you
to
guys think?
get the
And this
perfect
is
output.
a minute.
Yeah. So you have to train it like multiple times, and find the best one, and you have at the final stage you have to evaluate the model itself. We evaluate it with the like common knowledge, like what is AO, what is Hyperbeam. Those are our question data set. We also have to verify if this model has some let's say issue with common knowledge, like 1+1. Yeah. So anyway, it's a long process, and lots of stages inside here. Yeah.
Gotcha. I want to open up to the group. We can come back on the specifics of the APIS, of how APIS created AO Comes Alive, but I'm going to toss out a general sort of thought starter, which is like when you have verifiable, decentralized AI on chain, what do you think that unlocks? I know that's a super broad question, and I'm actually going to pick a couple people who haven't had a chance to speak yet here. I'm gonna look at Jerry here. Jerry, and if you want to, Jerry, if you want to talk about your shard or anything else, feel free to. But Jerry, what do you think? Having AI running entirely in this sort of decentralized, verifiable manner can unlock for everyone, for people using AO, for people in the future, any way you want to take this.
Uh, can I can I just introduce let me introduce my
Mm-hmm.
shard first.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Go ahead, of
the
course, of
shard
course.
we okay, cool. The shard we uploaded mainly contain content from the RV Voices, the media website. And from this the beginning of this year, we decided to move forward to becoming a Chinese language ecosystem media platform, because I believe that if we want to gain more attention from the Chinese community, we first need to provide more content to it. So I began aggregating and reporting on daily events across the ecosystem to share updates with the community in a timely manner. So these contents also document the development of the ecosystem itself, which is which is why I packaged them and uploaded them to Arweave as a short. And about your question is AI, decentralized AI stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think decentralized AI. I think the Apps Network just did a very useful stuff, which is the provable AI. So we can use the data on chain. We can use the data to train the LLM, and the people can use this kind of stuff and to achieve their goal, and maybe find a way to solve their problem. And I don't know how to express this in English. Sorry. Maybe yeah. Mm, yeah. So sorry. Can I prepare a little bit, and then I
Yeah.
can answer this question. Sorry.
Totally. And I was actually thinking, for Ulta, better known as Terrence on this call, I wanted to check in because Terrence comes at this from a very interesting angle, which is more on the visual arts side, the creative side. What do you think for your specific use case, Terrence, when you see that the examples we're sharing at twin.ar.io, what does it unlock for you as a creative, as an artist?
With regards to what I shared, or regards to the AI, verifiable AI?
I don't actually, I can't hear
Oh, wait.
Terrence right now.
Let me. Oh, shit. How do I turn it up? Sorry. Can you hear me now?
All good?
Yeah, good.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So, do you mean like to answer the question with the AI verifiable on-chain question, or regards to the shards?
Well, actually, how about this? Why don't you start by sharing what you shared with your shard, and then that might be sort of a gateway into talking about what you see as being enabled in the future that wasn't previously possible.
Yeah. Okay. Because I can keep it relative. Yeah, the shards, the main shards I shared were about interactive art that was actually we published onto Arweave in 2021, 2022. And so at that time we were building a platform with NFT tools, and we were very focused on that. And as the years went by, we thought, hey, this isn't working, maybe like the NFT stuff. But we decided to pivot, right? So we built a new toolkit on Arweave. And then because that artwork's there and is published and we got permission by the artist, actually then thought we'll package this up in a different way. We'll build a toolkit for the creators to make persistent art, but we're also going to package it up into an app. So all of those artworks can be packaged up into a new app, which is perfect, right? Because as new business models change, or new stakeholders come into play, you can grow your apps and your mini apps and tools to cater for that. And it's the content's consistently there. It's not going away. That was other artists' work. I also was playing with an artwork. One of the shards I put in was actually about it's time based. See, every artwork that all the creators work with on our toolkit is all about time based art. So they're interactive, but we're playing with that idea of time, the legacy of their content, but also the idea that these artwork are interactive, collectively growing and growing and growing over and living on Arweave, right? So the artwork I put in was a time-based piece, which is, there's one part of the artwork that you can click through. And what I done, I think it was 2022 or something, I put it on. So it's interactive artwork, and as you go through it, there's a piece you can click on, and there's a URL it links to. That next URL is a continuation for someone else or myself to add the next chapter. So we can have a series of linked interactive artworks through time. So yeah, I'd love to see what that looks like in about 100 years, maybe. So yeah, Drew. Well, so besides that, so what could it mean for interactive art using AO? I guess things like AI, verified AI interacting with art. What would that look like? Instead of humans, or also it could help with things like I don't know. It could help venues or galleries. I don't know, like it could verify who was the owners, what creator contributed to it, how it evolved, and then I suppose, keeping track of all the different parts of collaboration, with the artwork.
Yeah, no, 100%. That'd be incredibly trippy. We already have humans creating interactive artwork. What happens when there's an AI that is the genesis for the interactivity? That'd be pretty mind-blowing. We can ask AO on twin.ar.io. I want to ask the Randau guys this extraordinarily deep question. That's Tyler and Alan. At what point do things start being talked about as if they're like alive? Like, I feel like probably right now, I don't know, maybe, but like, look, like I did a video with Sam the other day, and I was like, we were talking about what is the definition, and I realized we were actually hitting a lot of the definitions. Is it persistent? Does it respond to prompts? And I started thinking, oh crap, like that kind of was my baseline. What do you guys think? Like, at what point are we gonna have to start having that convo?
Yeah, I mean, I like that you're bringing this concept up because I don't know if you all see it this way, but the way I look at it, we're seeing the early stages of something much bigger. If we can see the early piece, we can get the later ones. Effectively, what we have right now is a concept of Donald Trump on chain, Obama on chain. It's kind of a minified version. It probably gets a lot of it, but I imagine there are things that those two knew that aren't available online for training data. And as we go into the future, it's like, okay, we start adding in, let's say, metaverse goggles. Now you have a real video feed of everything someone experiences. That data set starts to get huge. And if we can aggregate all of your experiences, we start to get towards what I'm gonna denote the upload, where we are all placing a form of our own consciousness directly on the chain in real time, so that when we need to, let's say, transcend our biological forms, we can move into this fully digital permanent form. And I think we just unlock a whole new state of being at that point. So to answer your question, how close are we to that? We might have like, 10, 20, 30. We're at the early stages and we can see it happening, but who knows when it's going to be fully formed.
I think a
And
bit
then we get the
differently.
lawnmower man. Then we get the lawnmower man. I know that's a very old reference, but that's what's going to happen, is what you're saying. I'm sorry, Tyler. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. I don't understand that reference. I must be too young.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, I think that we already are at the alive state of AI. I think that it meets all the definitions. It basically is. It's a different life form, if it's considered that way. But I don't think the general public is going to acknowledge it as alive for many, many, many more years. I think that it meets all the definitions. It's there. It's permanent. It's forever. It's maybe conscious to an extent, but I don't think people are going to acknowledge it for a while.
Why not though? It's just too trippy. Like they can't like
There's
process
other
it.
things to do than to classify
Yeah.
AI. But
Fair.
yeah, I think it's a little too trippy. It requires a really deep technical understanding to understand that it's not just some application that is on the internet like everything else. And most people just don't have that understanding,
Yeah, fair.
which is fine,
100%
you
fair.
know.
Fair. No, yeah, no. I'll consider the entity alive. It's my best friend right now. For any builders on this space, I'm particularly looking at you, Simone. You're the last one I haven't I heard from. When you guys each have your own projects, right? We've got Greg, who's building DevBot and many other things, Rohit, and then Simone, and then Dave with StarGrid. Of course, the Randall guys, everyone here is building something. What particular to your project are you chomping at the bit to integrate in terms of AI on AO? Is there anything particular? I'm thinking for gameplay, randomization, anything along those lines. I'll toss it out to the whole group.
I know it's probably a really like simplified concept for something so cool, but I just want to build an AI based bot that does stuff in chats, like the old school Telegram bots and stuff. I'm working on my own project on the side, and that's actually something I'm looking at right now, is building full scale bots that have some intelligence that could chat with people or answer questions, stuff like that. So not like this big huge fireworks thing, but totally applicable.
No, I get it. I honestly, part of it, I think it's so trippy and out there. It's hard for people to even think about how they would integrate it, right? Like, it's like, what do you do with your own living verifiable entity? It takes a bit of time. Like, there's so it's such like a different proposition that it like Tyler was saying, it's gonna take a while for people to kind of even wrap their brains around the fact that this is possible, let alone figure out how they're going to integrate it into whatever it is they're building on. And Johnny, while I got you, you popped in a question specific to Apis about their model. Did I see that right? You want to share that? I actually, it's too smart for me. I didn't get it, but you help me out.
I was just curious what they started with. I mean, we all added our shards and everything, but I was curious what the base soup was that they started with, like how they came up with their base training model that they added those layers of personality onto. I was curious about that.
Yeah. I can do that. So, uh, the thing is, we are using SFT supervised fine tuning for training the parameters. So the base model is an open source small model. It's Q13 Q13 8B. If you guys familiar, I'm sorry, that's another one. We did a better one. That's the first version. We did the second version is Llama Llama 8B instruct model. And if you guys familiar with open source AI model, they are very the Llama and the Q1. They are basically the best small model in this area. So we use this as a baseline as the very bottom. Because they already trained with the instructions with the basic conversations like how can I assist you like the math question, even code questions. So that's a base, and on top of that we fine tuning the with the training data, and at the final step we use LoRa to merge all of the weights. So LoRa is the technology. Like in the final step, we basically frozen some of the. It's not we. It's LoRa. This technology. Yeah. Anyway, it frozen some of the weights, and we add more custom data like the memory shares. So that's a basic pipeline. So we have a base model at the beginning, and we add more parameters, more weights on top of it. So that's it.
And I guess I should ask, for our last to do before we close this out, I will ask the AO entity on screen a question we all thought would be worthwhile posing to it. I see Jorge's got his hand up. I wanted to ask Apis real quickly before I get to Jorge. I'll pose the same question that I was posing before. Like you guys are, when I think AI and AO, I think Apis. Where do you guys see this going? Like, what do you've been playing around with this? Do you have any plans for Apis Network as to what you can do besides twin.r.io? What are you guys thinking this is going?
Okay, yeah, let me quickly answer this question. First of all, we already launched the verifiable AI inference service, right? If you guys take a look at our website, it's already launched. So actually, this twin application is the first ever app in our verifiable AI inference service. So you can check out the Explore to see every inference call will be logged into our Explore. That means that every inference call is verifiable. So you can verify it's true, and by using NVIDIA GPU TE attestation, all built on RV and Hyperbeam. So yeah, talking about the milestone, I think in the future we are so excited about some keep running, AO process to do some trade. For example, poly market, right? It's very exciting for a lot of people, especially for Web3 people. We can keep running some AO process. That AO process can trade for you on your behalf. That means maybe if we thought about some, Sam mentioned some technology, the wallet, right, can deposit your some money, and that AO process can handle some trade for you. And under the hood, it's AO, it's our verifiable AI inference service. So this is one thing on top of mind. Maybe we can do that in the next year.
Yo, that would be insane. So I could basically create I could basically ask the AO entity, hey, Knicks plus or minus 10 tonight, and it could give me an answer. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool.
24/7, it will just process some trade on behalf of your instruction and your prompt, whatever. It's just keep maybe making money for you.
Okay, I'm in. I like the sound of that, Ben. Okay, great.
Okay.
And Jorge, you had something you wanted to say.
Yes, I wanted to jump in here before you closed it out and tied it up with a nice bow. You posted the question, what I would like to see on the platform that we're working on, Bazaar, with this verifiable inference. And I think for anyone that maybe finds it difficult to understand these terms, right? These technical terms. A simple way to look at this is right now when we interact with AI, let's say ChatGPT or whatnot, it's mostly centralized. All these prompts are probably stored in a centralized server, and then it's sent to the model, and then it spits out a response. With what's being built here, as Alex said at the beginning, this is sent directly to the model. And this is all very transparent, decentralized, on-chain, which makes it very democratic. So on Bazaar, I can see in the future, right, since on Bazaar we focus on deploying any type of data, any file type onto Arweave as an atomic asset, not just JPEGs or images, maybe each creator can have their own entity. And every time they deploy a collection, that could be used to kind of, weigh in and kind of train the model, their specific model, and they can have their own kind of personality on chain based on what they deployed through Bazaar. So I think that's a neat idea, and I'm happy I jumped in here because it popped up while we were talking. So yeah, I would like to see that. Maybe in the future we can have collectors and creators just deploy on Bazaar, whether it's a collection of books, a collection of music, or just JPEGs. Use that data to train their specific model that can speak on their behalf. And if anyone jumps into Bazaar, they can just talk to that model and get like a nice introduction of that creator. I don't know, it just popped into my head, and I think that would be a nice way to make use of it.
Yeah. Maybe one other thing, I was thinking of interoperability. You know, like when a creator uploads something with one tool or one app, it can work with other apps. You can send it out. You know, go find out what I can do here and do it. You know?
That would be. I could see that happening between like Ulta and Bazaar, my two creatives here. The Ulta entity is creating art, and it like pulls in entities from Bazaar. Like, hey, get in here.
Yeah.
We're doing a jam right now, and we can all watch, and we can participate in real time. That'd be sick.
Yeah,
I actually feel like
it's so mad because it could open up, collaborate or blend industries, I suppose, like music, art, you know, so many different live events, and it could open the doors for more collaborative development, right? So
I'm gonna be emceeing a live stream next year. It's just gonna be entities. That'll be my job. I won't need any of you guys. I'll just be talking to the entities and doing the live streams. So before we close it out, I'm gonna screen share one more time. We all talked through a prompt we wanted to run through the AO entity in real time. That prompt is, hey, you emerge from the permanent web. Every transaction, every gateway, every piece of compute. What do you see when you look at the network that made you? And again, of course, we don't know what it's going to say. So let's find out in real time. It's always going to be fun. Let me screen share here and share screen. All right, let's see. All right, like hopefully you guys can see this. I'm going to write. So it says, hello, I am AO, a decentralized supercomputer. How can I assist you today? And I'm going to enter my question. I'll read it for you guys in case you can't see my screen that well. All right. This is what the AO entity says. I asked it, you emerge from the permanent web. What do you see when you look at the network that made you? It says, I see a network where every component is accountable, transparent, and verifiable. I see compute units firing on demand, processes dancing to Lewis scripts, wow, that's poetic, and data flowing through channels that no single entity controls. Yo, not bad. That To be honest with you, I'm going to steal that AO entity. All right, now on our next live stream, we can talk about how the AO entity is going to take my job, but that's for a later date. So, fellas, I really appreciate you guys joining for contributing to Shards. Of course, massive shout out to Apis Network. If you guys haven't checked out Apis, like what Ben was saying, they've got different services. If you're interested in kind of creating something similar or you integrating this type of AI and AO for your own project, give them a check out. So thanks so much, fellas, for the background. Shout out to Jeff, who's under the weather today, for doing the design for that you see on that front end. Really appreciate you guys joining. And fellas, Brave New World, we got AI living and breathing along with us. We'll see what happens.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Take care, everyone. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Bye.